And I won't go more than 5 because I'm the only one who does not.
No, I appreciate it. The fact that we're a little late is surprising for us.
This is the first time we've had it on the main stage. I know.
Oh no, that's probably a good idea to do. Yeah, now we're recording. Wow, only 10 episodes.
Everybody!
Hi!
Welcome to episode 10 and our season finale of Razor Ridge Werewolf the Wild West. I am your GM, Mac, Wolfpack Beauvais, and I would love to have my wonderful players introduce themselves, starting over here with Nick.
Hi everyone, I am Nick, and I will be playing Chen Su tonight. He is a Stargazer Theurge, and probably attracting some unwanted attention, or wanted attention, as I recall where we left off.
Mm-hmm. And I'm Sam. I play Sigrun Elf, who is a Lupus Get of Fenris, and who is very much looking forward to this fight.
Hello, I am Jessie. I play Jeremiah, the town preacher, who is also a Metis, part of the Bone Nar tribe, and who recently went on a very important self-discovery journey and is embracing his werewolfiness.
And I'm Stephen Screech Pope, and I'm playing Charles Breck, the Galliard of the tribe Fianna. And where we left off, I was kind of in a bit of a sticky wicket.
Yes, that you may have put yourself into.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, well, calling it first death is going to be Charlie.
Yeehaw!
And then I'll just work my way around for the TPK. And then new Wolfpack for next season. No.
TPK.
No, I really hope not. And I'm also really happy to be here because I had it miscalculated slightly, but a few days ago was my 1-year GM anniversary, so I have officially been GMing for a year now, and I have still yet to run any game that's not for a live stream.
Yay!
Which is a really weird thing. Let's find out what happened last time.
Yes, let's consult the book. What happened? Please tell us. Session 9. Charlie asked Mr. Spooky how he lost the body. Argument ensued, and Charlie gave him $5 out of his shoe. Charlie filled in Jeremiah and Sigrun on the dead guy, and they read the coded telegram. It seems the barn burners have compatriots in Grafton and Beaver Creek. The pack went back to the morticians to look for the body. Charlie paid a reluctant Mr. Spooky $7 foot. He led them to the back room where the body was last seen. It has a dirt floor. Charlie and Chen distracted Mr. Spooky with talking, while Sigrun sniffed around to find the trail. The trail led from Mr. Spooky's quarters to the town livery. Magdalena, the stable lady, stopped them from entering and was surprised to hear about the dead guy since he had just picked up his horse. The pack got a direction from her and found the trail, hoof prints and all. Charlie shifted, trying for Lupus and settling on his bow. Sigrun ditched her clothes, snapped into Lupus, and ran along the trail. Chen shifted, but gallantly picked up Sigrun's clothes in his mouth, just in case she needed them. Even Jeremiah shifts. The pack sensed that he had hours of head start on them, and the trail was old. It started to get dark. They noticed the sounds of construction and the glow of lanterns. The trail led towards the noise and light. The pack slowed down to check it out. There were some people working and some near tents. Sigrun snuck closer to see that they were demolishing buildings and placing railroad tracks. She noticed a logo on the vehicles, which she sketched for the pack. Jeremiah snuck forward to use his scent of the true form on those workers. Most of them are just regular human, but the biggest tent has some eau de worm about it. The pack discussed how to go about re-murdering Preston. Sigrun suggested a fire distraction. Chen and Charlie shifted into Hamid and headed into the town nonchalant to do some recon. Charlie glanced in the big overseer tent and saw 2 people inside. Chen looked for something shiny to use to enter the Umbra. He tried and failed once, centered himself, then makes it into the Umbra. He moved closer to camp, and the shadowy figures do not perceive him. He moved closer to the tent, looking for clues and for spirits. He saw a darkness around the overseer's tent, and a figure standing by one of the buildings that doesn't seem to be attached to anything corporeal. It was the spirit of a frontier woman, and she was crying. Chen approached her, and she was surprised that he could see her. She said this place used to be a town. Someone came and drove off the people from the town and then killed the rest. Preston was there. She gave him a name, Wilson and Yates, in connection with the railroad. Chen said that he will pray for her, and she whisked away. He went back to his body and came to. Charlie asked, "Who's up for burning it all down?" and everyone raised their hands. Chen went around to where the supplies and/or explosives were and chucked a gas lantern at it. Meanwhile, Charlie popped on a random hat and walked into the overseer's tent. He told the indignant occupants that he's on a mission from God and asked if anyone knows Preston. Then he threatened to kill the guy, who said, "Easier said than done," and a conjured beastie came running out of the corner. Exclamation point.
Oh yeah. Bum, bum, bum.
Here we go.
Okay.
So let's make sure we know where everybody is right now. You are in the overseer's tent, and something is running at you, Charlie.
Oh yeah.
And there are 2 people in the tent with you. The woman that addressed you and another gentleman. The 3 of you are outside, and you are getting ready to set fires, right?
I think Chen was getting ready to set the fire, and Jeremiah and Sigrun were placed outside the overseer's tent.
Okay.
'Cause Charlie was supposed to flush them out so we could eat them.
Okay. What form is everybody in right now?
I was in Krinos the whole time, I think.
Krinos? Okay.
Lupus.
Sure.
I was in Hamid because I was just walking around like a laborer.
Sure.
I was in Hamid, but before we wrapped last game, I was going to spend a rage to switch into Krinos.
Okay.
And I thought Jeremiah was also going to go set some fires with your summon element thing.
Oh, right.
Whoops.
Wherever
But
you
that's
feel
fine.
you want to be right now.
That's up to you.
I think if we have a fire at the overseer's tent, I'm going to stay at the entrance to help with the fighty fights.
Okay. I think we should go ahead and roll initiative.
Hell yeah.
Let's
So
just
it
get
is
right
wits
into it.
and alertness,
2 bits.
and roll a d10, and I'm going to do some other rolls here.
Lommelled.
Wits and alertness.
On 8.
Yep. How's this work again?
1d10.
Oh, well, that would be
This is just
not
the
so
one.
good.
And then you add your wits
Okay, and then
alert.
add my wits and alertness. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh!
9 for Chen?
17.
Whoa. So, did you say 17?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
13.
13? Okay, and let me roll.
Man, I felt pretty good about 9 a second ago.
I was like, I got an 8. That's not bad. That's
I kind of
fine.
just took a second to make Jeremiah a little OP.
Saying here.
Eh.
This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
All right. Man, I don't know what we're going to do, guys. I'm a little worried.
This is a little scary. It's going to be a
Backslash bite.
stressful game.
I'm just going to remind everyone the game's called Werewolf, the Wild West. We are werewolves.
Yeah?
That should relieve some stress.
/ bite.
We are little killing machines.
Well,
Some of us are literal killing machines.
well, okay. I can be a killing machine too.
in your own special
My
way.
own way.
Okay, so let me rearrange the order here. So it looks like we have Jeremiah first, with 17, and then Emmett with 15. Mary with 15.
Blah, blah, blah. 15?
At 15 and at
None
15.
of these names will help you at all.
It's so unfortunate that Jeremiah is first because
And
he's
you
not
can,
in there.
you can defer if you want to as well.
Oh,
and then it's going to be Chen. I'm already rolling well, so sad times for you guys.
No, you're just wasting it all up front on the
yeah,
initiative
on
check.
There you
it.
go.
That's going to be your one good roll.
Just knock on the fake wood.
All
Dice
right.
are hot, soon they're not. That's
Right.
what I always say.
Jeremiah, you are up.
I think I will defer for a moment
Okay.
because he has no reason to attack anything right now.
Yeah.
All right. So
Did Charlie say anything? Ah!
Or did Charlie scream and make a noise?
Okay, I have to ask, did my rage expenditure from last game kick in now, or will it be kick in on my turn?
I'm going to say it's going to kick in on your turn.
Then
so
you haven't heard anything
Okay,
yet.
then I will defer.
So,
So as far as you guys know, the plan's going swimmingly.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Oh,
across
good.
camp, so yeah, I think it's fine.
Things are great.
Everything's fine for you.
I dropped a dice right.
Yeah.
Your chair.
My turn? Oh, yep, there it is.
Chen will be the sole
There you go.
survivor.
All right.
Rage! I want a wolf forever.
Two. Sorry, there's too many things happening.
I want to
here.
kill all those guys. Rage!
There's way too many guys,
All right.
clearly.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, God.
So, the man in the tent looks at this small creature that seems to be made out of, like, lightning. Like,
Oof.
just kind of like this blue flares of lightning that are sort of forming this being.
Nice.
And he looks at it and goes, attack. And then it's the other bad guy's turn. And let's see what she
I'm
gets.
scared.
Why are you scared? I'm the one that's gonna die.
Because we care about you.
No.
And also, we're next.
Ugh.
I see a lot of ones.
Yeah, there are a lot of ones.
Hooray!
Stop looking at my dice. I will move that tray, sir. The woman makes like she's about to do something, like she's trying to conjure something, but she gets frustrated and obviously fizzles out, and she starts to pull out a gun. Sigrun.
Yes. Let's see. I have a question, real quick,
I have an answer.
because I haven't used this one power before.
Okay.
Inspiration. So, basically, by channeling his courage and resolve, the rune increases the resolve of his brethren. You spend a gnosis point for your comrades to receive 1 success on any willpower rolls during the
Okay.
scene. Is that, like, my action for the turn if I do that?
Yes.
Okay. Then... I haven't probably heard anything happen inside yet. So I am going to...
Real quick, roll me alertness and perception.
Okay.
Difficulty 6, because you're right outside the tent, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If I know what's going on in the tent, it will probably change my... 2 successes.
2 successes. You hear something inside that sounds like the crackling you hear during electrical storms, when you hear, like, lightning storms.
Oh.
So, I will give you that, and then that's a gimme,
Okay.
and do what you're going to do.
I still think I'm gonna... I'm gonna do my razor claws thing.
Okay.
Spend my turn to sharpen my claws,
Okay.
so they do extra damage.
All right. Go ahead and do that.
Sorry, Charlie.
Yeah,
I don't think she'd run in for crackling.
it's fine.
Yeah, and
Well, I deferred.
so just
you
go
can
ahead
have
and
something.
spend your rage point then.
This is fine.
I'm just laughing that I didn't have a joke about Chicken of the Sea when she said, sorry, Charlie. Like, I've been waiting 10 episodes, and then I didn't have anything.
No.
Totally swinging a miss.
Oh, that gave me a headache.
Okay. So the little creature that seems to be made out of lightning starts hissing and spitting and heading towards you. Now let's see. Alright. So okay. So it spends. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not used to running combat, as you
No
can probably
worries.
tell. This is also the most ambitious combat I have ever set up, ever, guys. So it kind of zaps, and flicks a ray of electricity and lightning straight at you, enough to singe you, and you take 1 aggravated damage.
Whoa.
You can
Can I roll a soak?
you can roll to soak, but you have to roll Gnosis difficulty 6.
Oh dear. That's a fail. Not a botch, but a fail.
All right. Well, there is a smell of slightly singed fur about you, I'm sure.
Ah.
So you take an aggravated point of damage.
Okay. That's the X, correct? That's an X, not a
I
star.
don't know. Write an A. Whatever helps you remember. I'm not going to tell you how to mark your sheet.
You're an adult.
When does Jeremiah's deferred turn come at the end?
I'm going to say you can jump in because you're at the ready. So whenever you want to jump in, I'll let you jump in rather than waiting all the way till the end.
Would there have been sounds that come along?
You
with
would have
that?
heard a crackle and a zap.
All right,
And a fuck!
I'm gonna run in.
Okay.
I'm gonna run in.
All right. So you run in, and the scene before you is there's this small impish creature that looks like lightning and 2 people in there as well. There's a woman that's reaching for a gun and another guy who's, looks like he's starting to go for a firearm as well.
I'm gonna jump at the woman.
Okay.
What do I roll for
Well,
that?
what are you attacking with?
Teeth.
Teeth?
Biting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your...
Straight
it's
for
gonna
the
be
neck.
A dex plus roll, and I think bite, yes, it's going to be a difficulty of 5.
1, 2, 3. 4. Yeah, 4.
Oh, wow, okay. So you're going to go ahead and take your overages, just like in Vampire.
So 3.
Yep, and it's going to be your strength plus mods and overages for bite. Your strength is plus 1, and then you're also in Krynos form, so your strength is another plus 4. So you have a shitload of dice to roll.
Okay, so it's overages plus
delicious
strength.
dice.
Yes.
And then another 1, and then another 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like everything known to man. This person is probably going to be dead. This combat's going to be really short.
Okay, that sounds about right. Okay, so overages was 3, strength was another 3. 3 plus 1. Yep, got it.
All right.
And what was the number?
You're looking for 6s.
And 1s don't count for damage.
No, but they don't cancel out either.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Okay.
Did you attack the woman or the man?
The woman.
Okay.
Okay. So she rolled pretty good. So she's going to
I knocked him
take
on his
Ah, no worries.
damage here. You got 4 points, and she is hurting really bad and is really angry.
All right.
Chen.
Nice. Yes. So I'm not
Present.
yes, I'm not over here by where all this is happening. So
It's probably going to
What-
take you a turn to get somewhere.
what happens as I throw the flaming lantern into the cart full of supplies of dynamite?
So all of the people there
Paint me a word picture.
do not get paid enough for this.
Okay.
So they see
Some crazy guy just chucked out.
So
Like
they
lantern
see a
and
lantern
dynamite.
go into the wagon that they know contains all of their dynamite, and they fucking tools are dropped, everything's dropped, and they go running off into the dark away from this because they know how bad this explosion's going to be.
Okay.
But also, how are you going to avoid getting blown up by dynamite?
Well, what's going to happen is I'm throwing the lantern and running.
Okay, so you're going to throw... I'm going to have you do a check for running away from this dynamite, because there's a lot of dynamite. There's a cartoonish, westerny amount of dynamite.
Oh boy!
Excellent.
So I want you to roll for me dexterity and athletics,
Okay.
and your difficulty is going to be... You're pretty fast. Give me 6s.
Okay, Dex and Athletics, and I need some 6s. And...
Well, you're only rolling 4?
Yeah, this is kind of
He's
a
in
problem.
vomit form right now, too.
I am.
What's your
Can-
athletics at?
Can I... It's... I have Athletics.
Has it?
It's
You-
been,
you-
List
okay,
of
it's
it.
been marked.
You do have the totem too, so you can.
I don't know. Do I have the totem? Are we just
you
making
guys-
that arbitration right
You
now?
guys have to decide who has the totem between all of you. I can't
I
dictate.
kind of thought that you would have the totem because
All right, I'll hold the totem.
You are directly confronting the worm.
I will hold the
That makes
Lego
the-
totem we've made.
Right, that makes the most sense.
I love our Lego totem.
It is a
Mark.
very cute totem.
It's adorable.
What I do want to know is, could I spend a rage and go directly into Lupus after I fling the lantern? Or is that too much? It's okay to say no,
I'm going to
it's too
say
much.
no because
Okay.
of
this
Western
is-
drama.
Yeah, because this is more fun.
This is
I
our
get it.
finale. It's Western drama, and you just chucked a lantern into a whole thing
Oh,
of
yeah.
dynamite. And as the movies will tell us, even if it's long fused dynamite, if you throw it into a wagon of it,
Oh,
it's
boom.
suddenly short
Yeah.
fused dynamite, unless it's dramatic,
Right.
and you got the one long, winding, long fused
Yeah,
dynamite.
yeah. You know, the worst part is, guys, I don't have my sunglasses.
Doesn't exist
If I had my
yet.
sunglasses, I could just casually saunter away and look back.
Hey, cool guys
fine.
don't look at explosions.
So-
Just pick up like
All right.
2 bottles and put them up to your eyes.
2 brown bottles. I'm inventing the sunglasses. Yeah! I'm inventing the trope. That is a success.
Yay!
You dramatically, all of a sudden the world is slow-mo, run away as this cart of dynamite just boom. I mean, enough that you're actually knocked forward a little bit by it.
Yeah, but
And
I
if you
roll
wanna-
and
but
come
if you
back up
wanna
to
be-
my feet.
I'm going to let you do something really dramatic because this is our season finale. If you want to spend that rage point, as you are running and it explodes and you start to get flown forward, boom, right into...
Somebody animate that.
So, there you go.
Okay.
I'm being a very gracious
I want fan
student.
art of that.
I know, somebody animate it.
Charlie, now
Okay.
that you were the first one in and last one to do anything.
Okay, I'm gonna blow a rage real quick.
Sure.
Well, I already did, so poof, Krinos form.
Sure.
I'm now a giant
And
Pomeranian.
they are... This is what they expected when you walked in. So they're not phased by this.
I fucking should. Alright, okay, so I'm going to spend a help a player.
Okay.
That gets me 2 dice, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And I am going to bite the guy's head off. Literally.
You're going for the dude?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want his head to be removed from his body and in my jaw.
Okay.
Alright, so we're going for a bite
My
attack.
plan.
Okay. So you
My-
have all your info for that?
Yes, so
Okay.
we are looking at, let's see, I have 4 in Brawl. I'm not drunk, so I can't use my specialty.
No, sir.
But
Quick.
I did use a I
No.
did have a drink. Yes, fair enough. All right.
Your answer is nope.
2 more from a help player. And I'm looking for 5, correct?
For bite, I
Yes.
believe so, yes. I have a feeling I should have made more bad guys.
Although,
maybe
1,
not.
2, 3, minus 1. Oh, 4, 3 successes.
3 successes?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, so that'd be my strength of 7. Plus I get 2 bonuses for overages.
Yeah, if you rolled 3. Like I said, the best way that I remember it is that you need 1 to succeed. Everything else is just superfluous. But that
Awesome.
1 counts out because that's what you needed to hit.
All right. 1 for 7 for my strength, plus my overages, plus 1 because I'm really scary. You just get a plus 1. I'm not cheating, I promise. We have
You got a cocked die there.
Oh!
Whoa!
1, 2,
Straight
3,
up.
4, 5, 6, 7. What'd you get?
6.
Not for damage. 1.
Oh, this is damage. Sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. Why are you listening to me?
I'm not.
Oh, good.
Wow. So
Tell me I ripped it off. Tell me
No.
clean off.
No.
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 Dirty off.
Don't make me get the rolled up newspaper. I'm already mad that you guys are rolling so well. I have severely underestimated how many bad guys I needed to put in. You bite down hard, and he is wrecked, but there's still just the flicker of life in his eyes as you lay him on the ground, and he's sort of gurgling from the gaping wound in his neck, but he is not dead yet. But
No, I'm not
very
dead
nearly
yet.
dead. Jeremiah,
I'm gonna try to rip this lady's throat out.
cool. Let's do it.
So that's bite again, right?
If you would like to.
That was brawl and shoot. What was it? I already forgot.
It's your dex plus brawl.
Dex plus brawl.
Me and Nick are just looking at each
Your
other like, I'm
difficulty
not going to
is-
do it. Are you going to do it? Because I'm not going to do it.
Fine.
I was just assuming that since I went
was
for her
waiting.
neck, he bit down on her neck, and he hasn't released yet. But she's soaked some of the.
Yeah, so you're kind
some
of
of the
trying to
goodies.
chomp again.
So now he's like trying
Yeah.
to rip the throat out. 4 successes.
4, okay.
Oh,
Roll your damage.
delicious.
What was it? What was
5.
the target? Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
And so that was
I'm just gonna
strength
stop looking because I can't. I haven't been right yet.
plus the extra successes plus 1, then
You're in Krenostorm, so you have the strength from Krenostorm.
so 4 more. I had 11 last time, and I got the same amount of successes this time. So
Okay. Might as well go ahead and roll my soak right now.
sorry, guys, listening. I'm not great at math. This is hard for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. And what's the target for
6s.
1, 2, 3, 4?
Ugh.
Okay, and she did roll a thing, but she... Let's see.
Good things 1 don't count during damage because
Yeah.
there were a few 1s in there.
She is down.
She's dayed or down? Oh, she dayed.
You bite into her, and it's just a burst of blood, just like a geyser,
Nom,
and
nom,
it
nom,
is
nom.
ridiculously satisfying.
Woo!
Now it is his turn. He is very nearly dead, running on adrenaline.
Ooh, ooh.
So
She dayed. She dayed.
Remember, Mac, if you get upset, we don't know how many guys you prepped for killing
Exactly.
us. So. She's been GMing for a year. She's experienced. She knows this.
I know. I know.
Besides, it's professional courtesy.
I know what
Yes.
I am able to do. Okay. So he does. Okay. So the guy that you're on top of, Charlie, is very nearly out, but in sort of a last desperate effort, grabs the gun by his side and goes to put it directly up underneath your ribcage. Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Oh, I
No,
hate this. I hate this.
So let's see
Hi, I don't like this.
how much damage happens here. Hold on a second here. I haven't rolled for firearms before. It's super fun and ridiculous. Everything is done. I'm keeping you in anticipation. Yeah.
I feel the stress. I feel it.
Antissa.
Thank you for finishing that. I was gonna riot.
I was going to leave that hanging until season 2 started.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
So he pulls the trigger, and the bullet pops right into right under your rib cage, and it does not feel like a normal bullet.
Oh
No! Oh, you monster!
Do you happen to have melee weapons open there on that page?
No.
Okay.
No, I have only the weapons that I need, but I can pull
Okay.
up other ones at some
Yes,
point.
how much...
Yes. So with silver, it's a specific difficulty, and he's lodged it right in there. So you are going to take a point of aggravated damage, and you're going to continue to take a point of aggravated damage every round until you revert to your Hamid form.
Oh, you monster! Oh, you monster!
So you have to go back to a more squishy form.
So I'm immediately taking
Can
the
someone
aggro.
reach in there and rip it out of him?
Don't rip out my organs! I need those!
And he's clinging to life, but he kind of has this blurble of blood from his mouth and kind of smirks.
Oh, that's even worse.
I hate him! I hate him so much!
Sigrun.
Yes. I run into the tent.
Yes.
Especially if I just heard the gunshot, I'm running to where that came from, and I'm going to bite its face off.
All right. Roll your attack.
Okay.
Kill him, Sigrun. Kill him in an embarrassing way.
Make sure he has no dignity in his death.
No dignity whatsoever. Actually, no, I'm not going to bite. I'm going to claw, because I just sharpened those.
Does that sound like anyone's car alarm?
I don't have a car alarm.
Okay.
It
It's been
could,
going off for a while. I figured.
it could possibly be mine.
Doing-
Yes.
Should we investigate?
All right.
Well,
We're
I will
gonna
We're gonna pause.
real quick, guys, and make sure that the car alarm going off is not related to one of our players.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
We're still streaming.
All right, cool.
But
not
we're just not
podcast.
podcast.
All right. So,
Hello,
hi.
chat.
Well, he's going to go press the button at it
Oh, okay.
for me, so I can murder this guy.
Well, it stopped, so.
Woo, shortest pause in the history of pauses.
Okay.
Hold on a second, because we got to restart
Yes.
the podcast record.
Oh, did you actually for real pause it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the internet part.
we can't pause the internet.
Oh,
All right, are we back?
I don't know.
We're
what-
back.
We can't pause the internet, Mom.
Was it me?
I think it was.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Because the beep beep came from the same direction. It had the same tone. to it.
Okay. I'll go check on it in a minute.
There was stuff in the car.
Yes.
You want to check on it now?
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Pausing again.
Pausing
We're
again.
horrible teases.
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
So, as long as we're pausing,
Yeah.
Mac,
Yes, that's me.
do you, is your Monster Hearts thing, was that announced already?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Are you excited about that?
Yes? Question mark. I've just been so busy lately, so I've got to do all the
Well, you got a
prep
lot
for
going
that.
on.
And yes, I do. One of which I'll talk about a little later towards the end of this
Wink.
evening. But yeah, Monster Hearts is coming up. I've never run a PBTA game, so
Awesome.
it's going to be my first time running that system, although I've played in several PBTA games.
Yeah, you were in my Monster Hearts
Yeah.
game for Saving Throw.
Yeah, so here's the part that's going to be tricky for me, is I am going to be co-GMing with Hubak, and that means that I'll also create a character. We're going to swap off who's in the GM seat.
Oh.
And one of the things that I did about this, when I played Monster Hearts the one time, is I broke my usual trope and I played the human character, and she was the worst thing I have ever created.
I loved her.
It was the worst. But now that I'm going to be playing in a longer standing campaign, it's like, what do I go with? Because my heart says do the werewolf, but the rest of me is going, well, you should probably do something else. So I'd be really curious to know if people want to maybe go on the forums and let me know what they would like to see me play for that game. That would be really interesting to me.
Yeah. Will you be playing first edition or second edition?
Second edition.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, one of the best characters I ever made was a werewolf for a Monster Hearts campaign. It did not last, but, you know, I really do like that system, and I really think you're gonna have a blast with it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a different type of prep from this game. So.
While we have a moment, I would like to show you some fan art that we received.
We got fan art?
Yep, someone who is in chat right now, Gemethist,
Gemethist?
created this fan art for us.
Oh no! I love it! I love it so much!
Oh, that's the best!
Oh, please tell me they tweeted that at me.
Oh, yeah, please make sure that we
tweeted
have
all of
access to
us.
this.
What was their name?
Gemethist?
Gemethist, thank
Can
you!
tweet that at all of us so we can all
You're
have it?
amazing!
Put
Yes.
their trash cans out. I think they've bumped my car.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure, because things would end badly
This
for me
fan
if
art
stuff was taken.
for us.
Isn't that great?
Oh my god, that's
Seagram's so uncomfortable in that dress.
All right.
Look at Charlie, he's posing.
It's great, and I even love that it's sort of
That's
like the
so
sepia
awesome.
tone, so it's
Yeah.
like this tintype.
All right, should we
amazing. Okay,
restart podcast recording?
Yeah, we should, yeah.
let's do the thing.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
All right, thank you so much for bearing with us, chat, and we're about to restart the podcast.
Yay.
We good? All right. Sorry, listeners, for the pause and interruption here, and especially at a critical moment. But a car alarm was going off, and I have a bag in the back seat that I'd really like to not have stolen. So I just wanted to double check that that was not an issue. Otherwise, this game would be bad, and suddenly they would all be swallowed up into a dark hole of despair. Anyway, continue, Sigrun. You were going to attack the guy who just shot Charlie.
Since I just did my nails before the scene started,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to claw this guy in the face.
Okay.
Which I am going to use Dex plus Brawl.
Yep.
Now, I have a specialization in both of those things.
Just go ahead and
Oh.
finish murdering
Assist
this
me.
dude, could you?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be difficulties of 6.
Okay.
And Claus says that it's a strength plus 2 when we get to damage, so...
Oh.
Okay.
I'm just going to... We'll see what the numbers are.
You know what? Since we got lots of these, I'm just going to use one of these. Just for fun.
Burn to help the player.
So I can roll 10
He's
dice.
gonna be extra dead.
That's how I like them.
His spirit won't even travel to the beyond.
Oh, it'll show up in pieces.
Yeah,
No, there isn't even enough.
You know what? I only got 2 successes out of all that.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
let's roll
fart.
for damage.
That's okay. Now I get to roll damage still. So I got 1 extra success, so I get 1 dice for that. And then damage is, let's see, strength plus 2.
Mm-hmm. And then you're in lupus form.
Yes.
You get an additional strength for that, too.
Okay. And then, now the plus 1 damage for my claws, is that another dice I roll, or I just add 1?
Oh, it's another die.
Okay.
Remember, 1 is all that you need to succeed. Anything over that rolls over. That's
Right.
bonus damage.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean for the razor claws.
Oh, I think it's an additional die.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I did that. And then the claw says strength plus 2. Is that 2 die?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a shitload of dice. It's more dice than seem reasonable.
That's how you know it's werewolf.
Oh, you don't.
Oh, wait, I don't count 1.
Wins
Yeah,
don't.
no, you don't count
ones
ones.
don't matter.
Weirdly, 2. 2 again.
Oh, this guy has a chance to not be quite dead yet.
Oh no.
Nope, he's dead.
Hey! Now all we have to do is deal with this
Magic.
sparkly
Okay,
thing.
well,
As I'm bleeding out.
thing that was moving around, this little lightning beastie, sees what has happened, and actually, Chen, do a roll for me real quick here.
I don't know that I'm there.
Oh, you're not there.
I'm not
Never
in the
mind.
tent.
Chen doesn't
Yeah.
see it, so
I know,
because you would
it'd be a shame.
probably
I would totally dig on this, but
you would probably understand the nature of this. This little guy pieces out, and he just and just dissipates, and you're left in a tent.
I don't like
with
that.
a lot of fire outside and 2 dead people inside. So, what do you guys want to do?
I'm shifting back into human form before I bleed out.
Okay, so you shift back into human form, and as you do, and all of your bones and the muscles move, this bullet kind of goes pop
Ugh.
and drops to the dirt with a nice little poof of dirt.
Ugh. I immediately just kind of fall over to my side in pain, clutching onto my gut because I am not feeling great.
No.
I'll go on over to Charlie and like put my muzzle under his arm and like prop him up against, so he's standing and leaning on.
are we still in
We're out of combat.
initiative? Okay. So I think I show back up at the tent.
Sure. And you walk into the scene of carnage. There's 2 dead bodies there. Charlie's looking pretty hurt. And there's a lot of
blood all
Charlie,
over.
And there's a little zap of burnt earth. And you can kind of smell ozone when you walk in.
Before you lever him up onto his feet, so while you're laying there,
Yeah.
I run in as Lupus, as previously stated, and put my hands on your chest.
Little pause.
Well, my paws
cute.
on your chest, and I'm going to roll Mother's Touch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you have used this
No,
yet.
I haven't.
He hasn't.
Because we haven't been hurt before.
Okay, so let me read this out for people that are not familiar. Mother's Touch, level 1. The werewolf can heal wounds of others, but not themselves, aggravated or otherwise, simply by laying hands over the afflicted area. This gift is taught by a unicorn spirit. Right? The guru spends a gnosis point and rolls intelligence plus medicine. Difficulty of the wounded individual's rage. Each success heals 1 health level. Even battle scars may be cured in this manner, but only in the same scene that the scar was obtained, and with the expenditure of an additional gnosis point. There's no limit to how many times this may be used on a person, but each use requires a gnosis point.
Yep. So your rage is 4.
Yes.
1, 2, 3 successes.
Wow. So he puts his paws on you, and you can feel everything in your chest sort of knitting itself back together.
Ugh.
And then it is just smooth, pristine flesh as if you had never been shot.
Cool.
I lay on pause.
Laying on a pause.
You were waiting on that one. So am I back down to bruised, or?
He rolled enough that you would have everything erased.
Nice.
Wow. Sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just not something you can like easily do in combat, and it uses a lot of gnosis, so that's the downside of that.
I'm gonna feel that in the morning. Thanks.
Did you, we can communicate, right?
Yeah.
Sort of. Did
Yeah.
you get him?
I look over at the 2 dead bodies. Not him. But someone.
Yes, Preston is not here.
Now, if you guys look around in the tent, you will see that there is a number of maps and letters and information. But on the center table, there is a map laid out. And it shows, you have the map from before, if you guys recall. Mm-hmm. So there was Beaver and a bunch of other small towns. And you can see where they have sketched in railroad lines that run through Grafton, wrap down to Razor Ridge, on the outskirts of Glint, and continue down, connecting with the east-west railroad that is running through Arizona. Everybody give me alertness and... Actually, wait, do I want alertness? Give me investigation and perception, please.
Investigation and perception?
Mm-hmm.
3 successes. Wait, what's the difficulty?
6s.
3 successes out of 3 dice. Woo.
Nice.
0.
0, cool. You were
I thought it
just
was
shot.
6, didn't you?
I got a
rolled
1.
Oh.
4 successes
Why-
out
why
of
am I-
4 dice.
Wow! Okay, this is going to be interesting.
1 success.
1 success. As you start to look around and see what else is in this tent, like I said, there's a number of papers you rifle through. Sigrun, you got the most successes, and this makes the least sense for you to find. But you find a thing that you've been told is called a newspaper that seems like it's more important than just to go wee on when it's raining outside. And it seems important enough that you bring it over to Chen and Jeremiah. And the notice at the top is Arizona Silver Mine Boon. Silver belt discovered in Arizona. And there's a story underneath about the areas and how there's been a gigantic vein of silver running across Arizona found.
Huh.
And
This does not bode well.
Nope.
And with that, the sun dramatically starts to rise, backlighting everything, and we fade out, ready for season 2. So I actually wanted to do this combat in the last game, but there wasn't enough time because I knew it would probably take about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So we did have to kind of push over into another episode, but it had been my intention to wrap last time. So yeah, I thought maybe since we were going to have some extra time tonight, we could discuss what you guys liked, if there was stuff you didn't like, how you feel about playing Werewolf since it was a new system for most of us, and just kind of have a little bit of a wrap session about how you guys enjoyed the first season, and if you could have something in season 2, what would you look most forward to?
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
All right.
That's good. Well, this is only the second RPG I've ever played in my life.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Huh.
Oh, cool.
I've been here for both of them.
Yes, you
Yay!
have with me for
So
both of the
Sam.
games.
Yeah.
Much like, yes, and Sam, much like Mac, I haven't, well, she's played games outside of GMing, but I actually have never even played a game outside of a stream.
When I run a game that's not on stream, I will call you so you can come and play a game that's not on stream.
Yay!
Please do. I really
I just want
enjoyed
to see
it.
Matt constantly look at the other wall and mug, and there won't be anything there.
Well, there's nothing
He's
there.
talking to no one, no audience.
I'm so ridiculously used to that too. Like it's just a natural thing where I'm just, hey camera, what's up?
Oh no, you do like a 24-hour stream and then you play something else and you just look to the audience waiting for a reaction. You're like, there's no one there.
Oh,
All
You're
of
in
The
an
Office.
apartment.
It's much like The Office, the TV show.
Yeah.
Jim Halpert
I
at the
actually
camera.
really love the system.
Yeah.
It's different enough from Vampire that it's like there's new things to learn. But I really liked playing a more fighty character in this system.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fun change of pace. So
Well, it's interesting. I found we didn't have a lot of combats in the season,
Yeah.
but especially tonight was indicative of just how overpowered werewolves are in this game. It's hard to come up with challenges that make sense, that aren't so big that they're going to crush all of the players at the table, but that are also still challenging.
yeah.
So I've learned some things to note for season 2.
It also depends so much on how we roll too. Like we've actually rolled really well.
You
Yeah, we
did,
did.
you did,
Versus
and
some other times we have not.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I wasn't rolling very good past the beginning thanks to your curse guide.
Welcome.
Bad juju. Bad juju.
Yeah, because
I know how it goes.
if she had succeeded, the woman had a ability called Fortune, and if she had gotten it, she would have gotten an additional 3 dice to all of her pools.
Oh snap!
Holy shit.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, but unfortunately, she did not make that work out.
We took her out real quick.
Yeah.
Sucks to be her.
Yeah,
So I've been in both the games you've run now.
that's true. Actually, although you kind of
I was a fill-in.
You subbed in when I was running Phoenix Dawn Command.
Yeah, I was a fill-in, and this was, you're really good at this. You've gotten really good at this. I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy.
Your praise makes me gag.
I know. Praise is terrible.
Praise.
You're beautiful. You're perfect. You look like Linda Evangelista. What I really liked was, as you were running the system, you were learning more and more. Oh, werewolves aren't vampires. Werewolves are scarier. Mm-hmm. And they are, the monsters in a werewolf book, because I used to run a werewolf LARP back in Savannah when I was young and not dating. Obviously, I was running LARPs. Hi, guys. The monsters you put against werewolves have to be really fucking scary, so that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Bigger, scarier, more spidery threats.
Sure.
Yeah, although I would enjoy that for Sigrun too. Getting to fight some more things would be nice to expand on and test out some of her other abilities and whatnot.
And I promise I have big plans for season 2. This is really
big plan.
I have a much bigger story in mind, but I wanted to build it out into a few arcs, mini arcs within that, so that instead of it being such a capped season, I wanted to make sure that there's something continuing on for the next grouping of tales.
I like that, because it feels like we kind of not 100%, but kind of got past that first initial mystery and found out some things, but it's it only opened up more questions now. So it's going to be really fun for season 2 to see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
That's cool. It was also really nice for me personally to play a truly co-op party, because in Vampire it's you're a party.
Everyone
but
for
everyone
themselves.
wants to screw each other over the whole time.
Sure.
And you never know when it's going to happen or who's going to get who, and it's craziness. So when I came into this game, I was like, is that going to be the same? No, it's actually a truly cooperative party.
Yeah,
really
it's kind of nice though to have it that way, but I like that you all have very different personalities. I know there was some concern that we had one talky character and 3 that were more awkward.
Yeah, I never played the face. I never played the face, so that's why I'm so bad at it. But
the thing is,
someone had to.
I have never.
So
never
you're
felt
saying
this was...
3 of us were talkward?
Yes. I have never thought that you guys were too similar. If I know I didn't do a session 0, but if I thought that it was heading too similar, I would have said something. I love the fact that all 3 of your characters are awkward, but for very different reasons and in very different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's a nice balance. I mean, you've got these badass monsters that are trying to connect with each other, and 3 of them are awkward and going we have to be a pack now, what the fuck? And I kind of love that. I love that there's an awkwardness instead of yeah, I'm Werewolf, kick ass, what's up, hey, you guys have really interesting ups and downs and insecurities and motivations to your characters that I really like the balance of this party. Mm-hmm. And it's good room for growth if you want to take your character somewhere else later on and have them, I think Jeremiah's had quite a bit of an arc coming from I really hate everything about myself to coming to more acceptance, and Chen's gotten very much, he's starting to get a taste of the thing that has always eluded his grasp.
For so long.
One thing I'll tell you guys as the GM that was driving me up a wall, and I guess I'd say it's a 50-50 and not necessarily a fault, but just the way you guys decided to chase things down. Preston was there since the very first episode.
No.
Was he?
I knew.
No. What?
Preston has been there the entire time, but nobody went to investigate anything in the town because you had the Karen and you guys had options, but everybody was so intent on the Karen. There was an entire episode that was purely you guys. I thought made it clear that the Fenner's totem had been completely woken up. But then you guys were like, I don't think it's woken up enough yet.
Everyone's looking at me, and I'm like, no, this isn't what we think. This was a Steven thing.
Hashtag woke. And so we had an entire episode that I had 0 plans for, and you guys...
You mean we were out of Karen Troll?
So much. I killed your character. No,
Ghost of Chen. Appearing in the next season.
But it was such a compelling episode, though, but you guys literally gave yourselves a challenge and then solved it. There was very little for me to do, but the investment that you had in your characters and in the story that you could basically direct an entire episode where I was sitting there trying to pivot with you guys was really fascinating. But yeah, Preston has been there since the very beginning, but nobody went to go talk to anyone in town. Nobody went back to talk to the witch, who could have given a lot. You tried, but it was also when we had a bunch of other stuff going on at that particular time. We had a guest in, and I was just like, no one's going to talk to the witch this episode, except for Charlie. I knew it.
I think that Chen also like tried, talked you out of that as well. Like, hey, she isn't here to solve our problems.
Yeah, and Chen did that too. So
that's not, it's not our way to go find help. We should be taking care of this. That's why we're here. That's our purpose.
Which is funny. And then we had the episode where Jeremiah was out, and you guys are like, I have to go find him. And I'm like, I get that your characters want to, but Jeremiah's literally not here. Jessica's not here. Oh, fuck. How do I keep throwing up walls that make sense without me just going, fucking stop?
I was actually going to ask you about the episode where we gave ourselves a puzzle, because you've mentioned it a lot. And I've always wanted to know, what the original thought for that episode was.
It was hoping that you guys were going to go back into town and fucking talk to people and figure out what was going on and ask some questions. I mean, a barn got burned down, and you guys... anything I can come up with, you guys can come up with something I haven't expected and is probably better. And so I just have to roll with it. But I've learned, because the first game I ever GM'd a year ago was Phoenix Dawn Command.
Yes.
And Phoenix Dawn Command is very much mission-based. So it's very easy to have very pocket episodes where you go, this is your mission for this episode. This is your mission for this episode. So you, not railroading, but you kind of streamline, because they are going back to a command person to find out what do we do next, and they are more episodic that way. This is such an open world, so I had to come up with things that I could plug into any situation you guys had so that I could get things where I needed them and get you guys the right information, regardless of whatever fuckery you guys decided to go and do. Like the witch.
Fuckery is a good term for it.
I can't remember what it was, but I had a different introduction for the witch, but you guys were kind of just doing your own thing. You weren't talking to anybody in town. I think I maybe was going to have her be like someone in town that seemed really interesting, like what's going on here. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to make them roll, and they're just going to find her house in the desert. Because they're never going to get where I need them to. So this is how it is. So I had to build in little plot points that I could plug in anywhere.
Basically, we were like herding cats.
Herding Guru.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And then the best NPC, the one we interacted with probably the most,
Edward
Spooky!
Who did not exist until literally the second that I went, oh fuck, we need a mortician in this town. And then you guys basically created him for me.
And fell in love instantly.
I was thinking, like, okay, I'm going to come with a mortician, and they're going to be the most opposite-y mortician ever. That's like the happiest, cheery, like, hey guys, or like if you've seen Gravity Falls, the really sad kids' parents are morticians, and they're like the happiest, most chipper, like, don't you know kind of people. And I'm like, maybe I'll do that, and then it'll be different. And you're like, there's like vultures outside, right? And it's perpetually raining. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, and.
Yes, and.
The unsung hero of this series, Edward Spooky.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other stuff. Like, there were other lines that you guys could have followed, so it was interesting to see which ones you did pick, because they're, especially with having, like, I thought it was nice having guest characters in here too.
Oh, yeah.
To open up and have some different avenues.
That was fun.
And I tried to make sure the initial episodes had sort of a build where we could all learn the system in a way that stacked. And having guests in was kind of a nice way to sort of, add a little something. So, harder bad guys next season. And I'm sure Charlie would like to run into the Fae again at some point.
Oh, yeah. So, Werewolf, the Wild West, was part of this early thing White Wolf was doing, where they were trying to combine all their game lines, and it did not end well.
Shared universe.
Shared universe, yes, the world, if you will, of darkness, possibly. So there were a lot of like gifts and merits and everything that are very Fey involved, and as a huge nerd for Changeling, I was like, oh yep, just gonna pour this in here. Yep, just gonna shove this in here, hit it a few times with the stick to make sure it fits. Yep, there we go, that works.
There's some crazy shit too. I was looking at Drive-Thru RPG, and I kind of want to get and run a one-off of Mummy.
Oh, Mummy, I have thoughts on Mummy.
A lot of, and the thoughts on Mummy that I've seen are very polarizing. They are one way or the other. I love the system, or this is trash.
Guess where I am?
On the this is trash end of the spectrum.
It's not great.
But I want to do it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. One thing though, you fucking nailed Astrid's kinfolk.
Yes.
Like, I loved them. I loved Eric. I loved Astrid. Yeah. Sorry, Astrid.
I was trying so hard to make them sound kind of different, but they just sounded slightly one level lower for one of them than the other.
I mean,
they're related.
I guess.
So kinfolk are a weird thing, and you don't find them in a lot of games where it's like, okay, so you have an NPC, and like it or not, their life kind of has to revolve around you now. And that sucks for them, but they'll deal.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, you really got that with them, because they seemed really frustrated sometimes. They weren't always, like, wanting to help, but they knew they had to.
Yeah.
And I loved them. So you did a great job with that.
I really liked interacting with you when I was playing a net.
I loved the net.
The back and forth barbs were delightful, and especially when we had Jib guesting. And he was just like walking in being all magnificent and like, please just fuck for God's sake. Although he said it much nicer.
Oh, yeah.
All the NPCs were really great.
Yeah, and I loved having people in. It was really fun to have Stork here.
That was fun.
He didn't have to roll any dice. You're welcome, Stork. But that was fun, and that was sort of a one-off episode, but I thought it would be interesting. I wanted to give you guys sort of an additional power that you would learn as well to have available.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that episode, especially for Sigrun, like, having just literally met Fenris, and then having a coyote spirit. It just, like, because she grew up with family telling her, like, Viking mythology, and she's a wolf. She doesn't know the difference between mythology and fact. So she just accepts everything that, like, as it is, and to meet a coyote spirit like that just cemented for her that, like, all the gods are real.
Right.
You know, all of the stories she grew up with are fact. She's going to Valhalla. She's so pumped.
Werewolf Valhalla is probably the most metal thing I could think of.
I'm sure that's really fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a new campaign idea. Metal werewolf. Yeah!
And I'm hoping season 2 that we can start incorporating more of the Umbra as well. Mm-hmm. Everything. I mean, everything in World of Darkness books is super convoluted. There are things where I look at it and it's like, oh yeah, and then just create this thing with this, and I'm digging up information from all over the place. Like, I needed a spirit, and I'm like supplementing my book with another book, and then the internet, and then just me going, fuck it, this is what it is now. And the Umbra is, to me, the peak of fuckery. I get the concept of it, but it's needlessly complicated in a lot of ways, too, with how the layers are described. And that seemed to be the biggest point of contention for the season, was how that was being handled.
Yeah, I don't want to rip on a 25-year-old system.
At this point, this one would be 25, I believe.
So, you know, this isn't a hot take, but the layout on the book is among the worst I've seen, and I've been playing RPG games for 36 years. And it made it very difficult. It made it very difficult for like a player, someone who's new to World of Darkness, to like track down what was what and where to find what I needed and understand everything on there. And so, like, for that part, I felt a little bit frustrated about not doing a real good job, like understanding my powers or how things interacted. Like, I definitely feel like, okay, now that I've seen this and I've made some characters for other games, even though I haven't played them. I kind of understand how everything works together.
Sure.
A little bit more, and so I would be looking forward to certainly playing again. And I love Razor Ridge, and
it's a great place.
This whole thing is really cool. I really want to explore the Umbra stuff.
Yeah,
with Chen and moving into that direction.
I'd like to dive into that, but it is a bag of crazy, and I've looked at the book, I've looked at YouTube videos. I mean, I've really looked at everything, but it's still needlessly complicated. It's one of those that's like, if you really, really like having super crunchy stuff and having to figure out all these little nuances, and the book is terrible, too. There's stuff where it's like, oh, yeah, just use the blah-blah-blah, and you're like, okay, what page is that shit on?
Yeah,
and it's
Could you index that for me,
pages
or
longer,
something like that?
And it's all over the place, and I was looking up, like, powers. I actually recently purchased Frontier Secrets, which is a supplementary book to Werewolf the Wild West, which I was digging into, and it has a lot more, like, other types of shapeshifters in it, and it has some other bad guys and other things in that, and that was helpful, too, but it's also laid out horribly.
I do want to say I really liked how you handled the Umbra, because I think that it should be open to people's interpretation. Like, I don't want to have the thing that's the mystical realm, and it's the twisted reflection of what's going on in that place and the emotions you bring into it and all that stuff. There shouldn't be a codified rule set. It should be different and weird every time Chen or anyone else goes into it. It should always be like, I think I know what I'm getting into, but everybody's really upset, and so maybe that's reflected in the, that emotion is reflected in the Umbra.
I think
for that area. I think
Umbra
that was really cool.
Sort of is like the bubble universe theory, where there's infinite numbers of universes and there's some crossover, and you might end up in one that you weren't expecting, or you're trying to get through to one, but you don't quite make it, so what's that in-between ground like? And I really enjoyed that your character, while being this Stargazer Theurge, also had conflicts and difficulties. It's that thing where you want to study to be really good at something, but study only takes you so far.
Right.
And practicality is a whole other thing. It's like, it's very Doctor Strange, where he's going, I'm fucking brilliant, but I can't figure out how to weave my hands to make the magic work.
Yeah, I definitely had some feeling like that.
Yeah, that works. And every time you asked me, it was sort of, I want to go in the penumbra. I'm like, all right, let's just fucking do something. What's going to be interesting? And the other thing with this game is I really like to run it as a Western and have moments that are drama or a little over the top or are maybe not fully by the book, but you would watch in a fucking movie about werewolves in the West.
Right.
Totally.
And I gotta say, I thought you handled the Umbra really well.
Thank you.
I mean, I understand the frustration because it is a 20-odd-year-old book. I don't think it's legal to drink yet. But yeah, it is supposed to be a reflection of reality. It's the spirit world. So the fact that it was sometimes this really welcoming, kind of nice place, the other time it was a fucking nightmare, I thought that was great. So
yeah, and it's sort of whatever that
you did
place
good,
is.
Kid.
So yeah, I'm really glad that you guys are here to join me for the first season. Again, thank you to all of the guests that we've had through this first season. We had Gina who came in, that was amazing. Jib was wonderful. Stork, I love you even if I make a shitload of fun of you and annoy you in person. I'm looking forward to season 2. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm looking forward to running Monster Hearts very soon as well. And if I can just give a little pluggy plug, because I've talked about this before on the stream, and I didn't really circle back with information. For a while I was talking about a web series I was trying to get off the ground called Typecast, which is about monsters trying to make it in Hollywood. They are not monster actors. Well, they are, but they're literally monsters. So it's about typecasting in Hollywood. It's a comedy. It's got a little bit of drama, and unfortunately we weren't on the right trajectory the first time that we did it on Kickstarter, and crowdsourcing in general is, don't do it. I don't know why I'm doing it. I hate myself. But this time we actually are relaunching on April 2nd on Indiegogo, which means all of the funds that we raise, we will make every episode we're able to squeeze out of those funds. So if you aren't following me on social media, I would really appreciate getting a follow. as at Strange Like That, I'll be dropping information, and we're looking for any help we can get, whether it be donations or telling other people about it, your friends, your enemies, screaming from street corners, whatever your jam is, so that hopefully we can bring some really cool entertainment. And it's one of the best things I've been involved with as a storyteller. And I obviously love telling stories because I'm here GMing games, but this is another kind of story that I really hope to get the chance to tell. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before we end a little early tonight and say goodbye to Season 1?
I don't think so. Thanks, everybody.
Happy trails.
That
All
was
right,
fun.
should we see everybody out with a final werewolf pack howl?
Heck
I'm down.
yeah.
Sure.
I'm down.
All right, guys.
So everyone, I am going to give a warning. We are about to howl into microphones. If you're wearing headphones, I would highly advise you to remove them or do something of that nature. I'm giving you ample warning here before we begin.
All right, shall we?
Long enough that I think even chat has probably caught up with me talking incessantly about turn it down, and I'm really serious this
There you
time.
go.
Here we are.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you guys in the next season. Bye.
Bye. Wait, not yet.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
Freeze frame.
Goodbye.